Welcome to another day in the Matrix, waters above crypto. So over the last 24 hours, we've seen quite a bloody market, and I've been getting a lot of people asking me, is this the top, or is this the most bullish sign we've gotten during this bull run? So before we get started, if you like this content and haven't subscribed yet, I'd appreciate it. Like and share this video, help us grow this channel. And if you're new here, we do technical analysis and combine it with Gematria Numerology Astrology to decode and understand these markets. So one thing, just to give you guys a little sneak preview of a video that I'll be working on over the next day or so, we're going to be getting into a Theta decode. Been having a lot of people ask me about Theta, my opinions on it, and once I started doing a decode on it, I immediately started to see what was going on. And of course, Theta being a Greek letter, and anyone who's part of my mastermind currently knows that I've been making a big connection here between Greek and Roman mythology, astrology, and how it's all tied to the financial system. And that includes cryptocurrencies. And of course, you're seeing the as above, so below with the T and T, very classic. But we'll be getting into that tomorrow. And today we're going to just give a little look into the past. So this is the Bitcoin index chart, which goes back all the way to when Bitcoin was just a couple of pennies in the summer of 2010. And all I really wanted to focus on was this block of time between October 2015 and September 2020. The reason being is if you look at the way this market structure went, you have this huge bull formation, a breakout of an all-time high. You come down to retest this orange moving average, and then it goes very parabolic. So this orange moving average is on the weekly chart, 21 EMA, exponential moving average. That's all we're going to work with for right now, just to give a very clear and clean chart and understand where I'm going with this whole idea. So as you can see right here, you have this parabolic advance, and then once there was a closure below the 21-week EMA, you saw that basically it tried to come up and test. A failure of getting a new high led to a bear market. And what happened was right here on October 12th, 2015, it flipped above this and then started treating it as a support. And you can see we got multiple touch points. Now fast forward to today, a similar thing happened where right here violently crashed below the 21-week EMA, came up above it, failed to get a new high, and then just confirmed it as a new resistance. And it stayed resistance. And this moment right here, this premature breakout into the fall of 2019, was an amazing opportunity for anyone who acted quick. It was a moment to accumulate, and still, even if you bought at the top and held through all the way till now, you're in very, very nice profits. So Bitcoin being one of these assets that you essentially buy, you hold for 5 years, and you're always in profit, and that's what's so nice about it. And the reason why I'm harping on this today is because the market structure has started to change. If you go back to yesterday's video, everyone was bullish. But my video was telling you we're probably going to get a fake out. And the reason being was I wanted to see a closure above the 21-day EMA along with the 236 Fibonacci level that we had from the swing high to the current swing low. Anyways, what I was discussing was that there was an opportunity for this day right here, January 29th, which was 54 days apart from yesterday. And that 54th day, having all this confluence with some Gematria decoding we were doing. So please go back and watch that video. This day was when Elon Musk changed his Twitter bio to Bitcoin. And yesterday he released information that Tesla was now accepting Bitcoin and that they would be running a Bitcoin node and blah, 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 blah. But basically, what we were figuring out is that this guy doesn't matter. Everyone was going long yesterday, but the whales were shorting. It was the same thing here. Look at this wick. This was a huge fake out. And now we close the same day below the 21-day EMA. So as long as we keep closing below, we're looking like right here. You see this structure right here? And then this structure right here. Anything below the 21-day EMA, you look for further support, and ultimately the 55 EMA. And we'll get into that in a little bit, but just to give a recap of yesterday's video. So what's different here about this structure we're in right now, ever since we confirmed a touch on the 21 EMA, this is the first time we've touched on it as a support after being above it. And this market structure here is quite different from this one. There are some similarities, but there was no black swan event like we had right here with the COVID crash. So just to quickly recap, all-time high, closing below this orange moving average, the 21 EMA. We flipped above it, but it was a premature breakout. The whole move like this was way too fast, way too soon, and that's exactly what's happening right now. And that typically leads to what's called distribution. Now, it doesn't mean that it's the end of the bull run, okay? But what this does mean is there's a potential now to come down and retest this 21. And we're so far above it right now, but I'm going to show you how we're not really doing anything out of the ordinary. So if I could go back to this moment right here, where I have this vertical line on October 12th, you can see that we have a touch point here, touch point here, touch point here, touch point here, 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 and then even this nice little wick right there, and then it just went on a parabolic advance. So assuming that this is almost identical to September 2015, which is a full 5 years in the future, we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 touch points before we had a blow off top. Now with this, we're only looking at 1. So what's wrong here? This is actually the longest time during a bull market where Bitcoin has stayed above the 21 EMA. We're now going on almost 200 full days. So if I was to look at it from this perspective right here, we're looking at 196 days, approaching 200 days without retesting this 21 EMA. And technically the last touch was on September 6th. So I guess we're a little bit less than that, 182 days, but still that's a long amount of time without coming and back testing this crucial 21 EMA. So where are we right now from the top, from the current all-time high down to this? We're looking at 37% drop. So let's go back to here and look at what this was like. So from here down to that wick was actually exactly 38%. From here down to this wick, we're looking at 36%. From here down to this wick, we're looking at 33%. Here, this one almost 40 full percent. And then right here, we're looking at 38%. So on average, we're looking at over 35% of a correction. And what we would be seeing right now, and this isn't even our weekly close yet. So this, when we close this next weekly, unless we had a flash crash today, this is going to move up probably to around 40,000, right? So if that was the case, just to play it very accurate, we're looking at a 35% drop. This is like par for the course for Bitcoin. And do you understand how healthy this would be? We don't need to do this, but we really do need to understand how healthy this would be. Coming back to that 21 EMA, potentially even having like 3 weeks running sideways on top of it, and then blast off would be so much better of a structure. And for those that aren't understanding of how this would all work, if Bitcoin pulls back to the 21 EMA, every single altcoin you're invested in, even including XRP, is gonna come down. So this might be the best buying opportunity we've gotten since back here, all the way in September. Of course, the prices are heavily inflated now, but look at these altcoins. All of the altcoins that you guys are invested in are probably way overheated. I know you're happy looking at your portfolio, but if anyone truly believes that this bull run will make it all the way till the winter time of 2021, but preferably the target zone would be mid-December for Bitcoin and then an alt season leading into the first couple weeks of January, look at how much time we have to go for that. We're looking at 40 more weeks. So imagine we just kept going up parabolically. Is that really what everyone wants? Or should we build consolidation, give more buying opportunities, let the whales manipulate how they need to manipulate, and then keep it moving? I think this is the most bullish thing we're going to see for the foreseeable bull run, because we haven't had Bitcoin, which is the money of this space, backtest this 21 EMA. So this sounds bearish, I'm sure, because it's going to bring a lot of blood, but you buy the blood. You don't buy into parabolic tops like everyone's doing with Theta, like everyone's doing with Cardano or Polkadot. I'm very bullish on those 3 projects, but right now all 3 of them need to give back gains. They are all out of control in how straight up they went. So one thing we could do on the more shorter term, I'm going to bring up the 2-day and the 3-day charts, and I'm going to add on a couple extra moving averages. One is going to be the 13 and one is going to be the 34 EMA. And what we're seeing right now is on the 2-day chart, we haven't closed a daily below this orange 21 EMA all the way since October. So that's another thing to think about. Tonight, we're going to close the 2-day and the 3-day candle. So if we close below this 21 EMA, that's a sign to me that today is probably one of the most important days of this bull run all the way since back in before the holidays, before November. This might be literally the day where we find out, oh snap, there's going to be a quick flash crash. So keep that in mind, because this hasn't closed below this in a while, and that would be healthy for it too. And as you can see, there's even been some wicks that have come down close to this 34, which is currently sitting at 47,000. Be very healthy. Now let's go to the 3-day. And one other thing we're seeing is this 13 EMA. We're hugging it right now. And that's why we're not falling too hard below this, by the way, because these are very heavy supports. People need to look at the 2-day and 3-day charts. They're very critical. What all these assets do on a 4-hour chart and all that stuff, it's not as important. 2- and 3-day and weekly and monthly, those are very, very important. So with that being said, we've only had one candle body closure below this 13 EMA on the 3-day chart, and it was all the way back in January, a full 2 months ago. Exactly 2 months ago. And when that happened, we did get a nice little pullback right into it. So we are testing some critical levels right now. Very critical. Now look at this. We're extended above the 13. So what would be most healthy is probably coming back to at least start testing this 13 EMA. Again, when it comes to bull runs, we like to test the 21 EMA, but the weekly closures are typically above. So we need that to be remembered. We're very far extended above the 21 EMA right now, but as I've shown you in the previous bull run, 30 to 40% corrections were happening time and time again. It happened about 7 to 8 times over the course of a full year. Again, we haven't done that one time. This move here from 9,000 to 12,000 and back to 10,000 again was nothing. That was very low volatility. Lately, we've been moving up $5,000 to $6,000 daily candles. Back then, we had a volatility of a $3,000 range from the month of April all the way up till October. A $3,000 to $4,000 move for over half a year almost. But now we do it in daily candles. Yesterday alone, you could have seen the volatility of having a low all the way to high, $5,000 move from top to bottom. So things are getting a lot more volatile now because the market structure is showing you it needs to correct. But anyways, for those of you that have stuck around for this long in the video, I hope you've gotten something out of this. I hope you're getting excited. Whenever I see these sorts of moves happening, I become super bullish. And I know everyone likes to get like, oh, the bull market's ending, it's a distributive top, blow off top, this and that. No. And if I'm covering Bitcoin, it's because that's what's most important here. Everything is going to move down, double or triple what Bitcoin moves down in this move. So expect DOT, especially because it started to close below the 55. I'm going to take it out of log scale so you can see what I'm talking about. Hide these drawings. So look at this. It's the first daily closure below the 55, this white moving average. First one in a long time. And look at how far the price is down right now. 31% already, right? So same thing, Cardano is going to give back a lot soon. If it closes below this 55, we could be looking at a 70-cent Cardano again, pretty easily. These are the greatest buying opportunities that are on the horizon. And for anyone that I work with, you've been hearing me say, like, if you get an opportunity with Bitcoin, Bitcoin's going to be multiple hundreds of thousands of dollars in the next 4 to 5 years. Why would you not be accumulating on these big red dips? It's the best opportunity you can get. Quickly, what the big reason why I think all of this is happening noticeably is because the dollar index is going through the roof. It might close its first daily closure above the 200-day moving average all the way since May 2020. So this could be pretty big. Again, it would probably get up to this $93.50 level and then gas back down. But I have no idea why this is happening. It makes absolutely no sense. The only thing that could be making sense is that people are leaving the tech sector and putting their money into bonds and taking their money out of the stock market. So this is corrective looking, right? This is a huge thing. A 200 EMA is really, really big. So closing dailies above the 200 EMA is really massive. And you could see all these flipped bullish, these EMAs. All of these EMAs have now put flipped bullish. And yeah, I mean, there's just nothing to say about it. Even though they print trillions of dollars, this thing's going up. It makes no fucking sense, but this is the market that we have. You just got to deal with it. And of course, coming back to Bitcoin, everything's looking super bullish. Look at the 55 EMA. We barely touched down on it. And I'll put up a cleaner chart so you can see why this looks so similar to me. So look at this. So this is the 55 EMA. Again, I like using the 55 because it's a Fibonacci number. People use 50. I just like using 55 because that's what works for me. And you could see this day right here, January 27th. Coincidentally, yesterday I was comparing to the 29th, so it's similar how close they are. But you see how it almost came down to this 55 right here? That's the same thing we're seeing right now. So if we see a daily closure below the 55, that's another big red flag. So we'll have to see how this goes. The way that this would go if you had to make yourself a checklist of a flash crash incoming, And all you need to do is look at Bitcoin for this. Bitcoin will tell you what everything else is about to do. If you get this 2-day closure below the 21 EMA, then you would look to a daily closure below the 55-day EMA. If you get a daily closure below that, you're probably going to come down to that 13-week EMA, potentially even as low as the 21 EMA. And if you look at my cursor right here versus here, that would basically just be back testing this level right here, which would be a crucial support. I'm sure if I brought up VPVR, we could get some ideas of how that would all look. So yeah, VPVR is telling me worst case scenario would be 33,000, and that would actually be the 200 daily EMA. That would be very, very scary for people. But what I'm looking for most likely to happen is this 47,000 range being scooped up pretty quickly, and then maybe a little flash crash down into that 13 EMA on the weekly, which is sitting around the 44,000, find support, and then keep it moving. And with that being said, you could have a move back up to 70K within a month. That's how bullish Bitcoin is, right? Like we've seen it happen before. Look at this. This is a $10,000 candle in a week. This is a $8,900 candle in a week. This is 5,700 in a week. So, I mean, these moves are quite normal for Bitcoin. And when Bitcoin does this kind of shit, your altcoins catch up eventually. When Bitcoin makes these big red candles, typically the altcoins drown. So just keep that in mind. And then, of course, we're going to be going over Theta in the next video. Going to be doing that decode. It's going to be really exciting. Lots of information in it. Again, if you like this content and you want to support this channel, please feel free to subscribe. If you're interested in learning more about my technical analysis and how I incorporate Gematria, Numerology, and Astrology into my TA, I have a mastermind. You could contact me in the description box. That course will be on sale for the next couple days until the end of the month. And with that being said, enjoy the rest of your day in the Matrix. Much love.